bear with me. It's been at least a couple weeks since I've done one of these things. Make this a little easier. I'm going to be honest. At first, I was absolutely freaking out when Mr. Salerni told me I would be the class speaker, as several of you would attest to. But a few days later, I realized what an opportunity I had been given. I had just been given a slot of time during which I could say whatever I want about whoever I want. I could get even with all the teachers that have marked me late in the past 4 years, share some of my valuable insight into how I think the school should be run, and possibly campaign to change the name of AHS to the Tom Shepard Institution for the Curious and Good-Looking. Unfortunately, I just found out I don't get my diploma until after I speak, so I reluctantly decided to alter my central theme slightly. Blame me. Family, friends, and students of the class of 2011, and Tom Briscoe, I stand here before you mainly because budgeting did not allow us to pay someone more famous. 12 years ago, when we were sent off on our first day of school, we began our venture into a world of uncertainty. We were equipped with our SpongeBob SquarePants and Hello Kitty lunchboxes. I'm not currently at liberty to disclose which of those I actually had. And we thought we were ready for anything the world could throw at us. But, as we have seen, the world is a much more unpredictable place than we could have imagined. In the past 12 years, we've seen a lot. We've seen 9/11, the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, Hurricane Katrina, an earthquake in Japan, several male faculty members dance at a pep rally. We found out exactly what happens when you put 5 chairs at a table in the library, and it's not pretty. And much more. Not exactly your average Jersey Shore episode. While there have been many hurdles, these provided catalysts for us to grow and learn. As a class, we learned things we could have never learned in a classroom, especially not in Salerni's classroom. Last year, after hearing about what happened in Haiti, our school banded together to raise relief funds in an event called Rock Haiti, which ended up raising a considerable amount of money. We decided to make it an annual event, and this year we went at it again with an event benefiting Uganda. The past 2 years, we've also established multiple Relay for Life teams to benefit the American Cancer Society, and involvement has been growing exponentially. We've also held several other food and supply drives for local shelters and organizations. This may have not fallen under the curriculum of one of the core classes, but it was experiences like this that were essential to making us who we are today. Yes, our experience here has taught us much more than addition and good grammars. Get it, Mr. Dorr? I spelled it wrong, too. It's taught us practical knowledge, like how to work together, how to improve our world, and how to best fall asleep in humanities while appearing to be paying attention. Cat never really got that one. Yes, even our lunch double ventures have been able to instill us with knowledge. Enter Moe's. Who knew that such an innocent establishment could teach us such fundamental lessons about life? In those hallowed halls lies a beautiful metaphor for life, the burrito assembly line. Right off the bat, you're challenged with a query that could make or break your 4,000-calorie lunch. Chicken or steak? As the employee with the strange hairdo, you all know who I'm talking about, loads up your tortilla with the protein and complex carbs you have so just boldly chosen, you are peppered with more questions. More life decisions. Is today a sour cream day? Perhaps today the extra $1 for the guacamole could be a worthwhile investment. But just then you start having second thoughts. Was steak the right choice after all? But it's too late. There is no going back. But I submit we are better for having to endure this dilemma. Here we learned we mustn't live in the past, but in the present. We must roll with the hand we are dealt, even if it means compromising for some mysterious-looking steak. Indeed, since we have learned to make a choice between burrito toppings, I'm confident we can now face any decision in the years ahead. So, Moe's, simple burrito establishment, or radical culinary-based educational facility? I think the latter. As we continue on in life, we can expect to face more hurdles. But we must not forget that it's how we deal with this adversity that defines us as people. You need to be able to step back and say, I'm on a boat called life. And as a small-town girl once told me, don't stop believing. We've all been equipped with the tools to succeed, and I have already seen them successfully employed by my classmates, whether it be in the classroom, on athletic field, or by a friend's side in a time of need, or in my case, a shuffleboard court where Phil and I vanquished Slayton and Riddle. So, fellow graduates, I urge you today to embrace the opportunity before you, take what you have learned the past 12 years, and put it to good use. Amidst the celebration, I think it's appropriate we recognize we are short-sown up here. As you all know, this past August, we lost both a fellow student and an amazing friend. I believe we should take this time to remember Melissa Andrews, and I hope that we all see her as an inspiration and keep her in our hearts for the rest of our lives. We must know that living our lives to the fullest is the greatest tribute we can offer to her memory. I would like to take this opportunity to thank both the parents and the teachers. So many families have looked out for me personally, and for that, I owe them a lot. Thanks also to the Avon Fire Department for always being there for me. As for the teachers, I feel they're not getting paid nearly enough to deal with our ever more exciting... Yeah, thanks guys. Teachers, back to teachers. They're definitely not getting paid nearly enough to deal with our ever more exciting and dramatic missing homework excuses and other shenanigans. Yet they continue to show up day after day. I think we also owe our guidance department a round of applause, because otherwise I'd still be lost somewhere in my Common App. I would also like to thank Brian. I'd like to thank Brian and the rest of the janitorial staff, because they are definitely some of the coolest and most helpful people we know. Thank you to Officer Jeffrey Foss-Rugen, who is here somewhere keeping us safe, because he bet me I wouldn't put him in my speech. Finally, I would like to thank Mr. Salerni's wife for bringing in chocolate that one day in physics, or as Mr. Salerni would say, TY for chalk. At the beginning, on our first day of school, we were just living in the moment, not even knowing what a high school graduation was. I personally thought it was an event where they took your backpack and lunchbox away for good. But today, here we stand on the first day of the rest of our lives. And as Alan from The Hangover once said, hey, you guys ready to let the dogs out? Congratulations to the Avon High School class of 2011.